What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Your boy Dread is back with the DreadMan Football Podcast. This is your boy, the DreadMan, with my boys Walotov and Flip. Say what's up, fellas.
What's up, guys? Hey, guys.
What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing tonight?
Now, before we get into our week three predictions, let's go into our week two reviews with the player of the week, the play of the week, the comeback of the week, and my favorite, the choke of the week. The choke of the week should be very, very interesting. But all right, first off, what was the play of the week in you guys' mind?
Play of the week.
For me, it was Akeem Talib in his 103-yard pick. God Almighty! I mean, it's one thing for you to be blowing out the Cowboys, but to put the stamp on it with the 103-yard interception, come on, you can't get no better than that.
That
was pretty good, didn't he? He shed a tackle on that too, right?
Yeah, he did. He did shed a tackle. He shed a tackle at his own. It was like at his own 20 or his own 25-yard line. So he was still a good 75 yards out from the end zone. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that was impressive. Yeah, especially to steal that game. I think, my play probably, I would say probably the touchdown to Gronk, with Brady essentially just like throwing it like flat-footed, just like lobbing it up there. It was like a broken up play, and he kind of led Gronk. Gronk just found an opening, and Gronk just ran down there, and he did break one tackle. A guy grabbed him by the leg, and I shook him off. I was kind of looking forward to that contact because we haven't really seen Gronk do anything yet this year.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see. That was promising to see, especially as me as a fantasy owner of Gronk. But yeah, I would probably say that was my play, my play of the week at least.
I'll buy that. I mean, I ain't really mad at that one.
I didn't really see a lot of great plays of the week for me. I think the Talib one was really good. Personally, I would go with the Adoree Jackson hit on Leonard Fournette.
Oh,
that
man.
one was pretty cool for me.
I saw that. That shit right up my teeth. God. But all right, let's see. Who had the best? Let's see. Who was the player of the week in your opinion?
Player of the week.
Yeah.
I gotta say Tom Brady, man.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I mean the clinic he put on there, especially when he kept losing guys left and right. Like he's almost down to playing with the equipment manager next week. He's almost down to having the guy that pumps and inflates the balls running 5-yard slants for him. Like that's pretty much what's going to be like next week or the week after that because he's just down. He just keeps losing guy after guy, man. Gronk goes down.
Edelman went down at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, he was his Dorsett. I think Dorsett went out. And it's just they're dropping by the wayside. But he put up a great game. Like I think we all thought I was expecting a revenge game for Brady.
Yeah.
Especially with a defense like that he could just carve up the Saints. He really impressed me. I think he kind of put people on notice that he's not washed up. You know what I mean? Like after that bad game against the Chiefs in Week 1, I think Brady came back out and kind of like reasserted himself as still probably one of the dominant quarterback in the league.
Right. Now I will see your Tom Brady, Wazatov. I will see your Tom Brady and raise you a Matt Ryan or a Julio Jones because if you think that he put on a clinic, then to me that doesn't compare to the show that the Falcons put on this past weekend. But the thing is, the Patriots were supposed to win that game. People were on edge about the win were on the edge about the Green Bay Packers and the Falcons. People thought that game really could have went either way. And trust me, I will get into that later. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, he really did put on the show this week, in my opinion. And that makes me wonder what he's going to do next week, especially when it comes down to his divisional games later on. But all right, Flip, what about you? Who's your player of the week?
My player of the week, just because he showed us that he wasn't a fluke, probably had to go to Kareem Hunt. I think he single-handedly made that Chiefs team into a monster, and it's kind of scary seeing that he's in the same division as the Chargers. Yeah, I got to give it to Hunt.
Yeah.
Y'all think the Chiefs? Y'all think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC?
Ooh, they are definitely top
close.
3. They are definitely top 3. My top in the AFC right now, my top 5 teams are Patriots, Chiefs, Steelers, Raiders, and let's see. Denver, maybe Denver. Denver was my sleeper team. Matter of fact, let's get into that. Like the sleeper team. Like Denver, everybody did sleep on them and underrate them this week. They really did surprise the hell out of me. Trevor Siemian, I don't know what the hell happened to him. I think he must have had the Popeye treatment. Like he must have popped open a can of Popeye spinach and ate it right before the damn game because he came alive in that game. Wow.
Yeah, man, I think the Broncos are crazy. I didn't expect C.J. Anderson to be doing C.J. Anderson things.
Yeah, C.J. Anderson went off.
Siemian to be looking like Peyton Manning out there.
Yeah.
And that defense is forever that defense. It's crazy.
Yeah. That team's potentially like I think if Anderson stays healthy and Trevor Siemian just continues just to play like this, I think they're unbeatable. I don't think that there's a team that can touch them if everything stays like that because they got weapons. They got weapons everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And the crazy part is even if Anderson goes down, they have Jamal Charles just standing there.
He's a backup. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why the Denver Broncos get my nomination for Team of the Week this week because they really did show off this week. They beat. Like I said, people think that it doesn't mean anything that they beat the they beat the Chargers, but to me that did mean something, especially in the fashion they beat them in. And for you to beat a team that a lot of people consider to be a top Super Bowl contender, that does mean something. So I got the Denver Broncos my Team of the Week.
I roll with it.
Yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, what do you guys thought? Who's your Team of the Week this week? Or who do you think showed off? What team?
You want us to go Team of the Week? Okay.
Yeah.
It has to be the Broncos. Hands down. You just can't hold Ezekiel Elliott to 10 yards rushing and not get Team of the Week. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, before we go any further, guys, before we go any further, this might sound like a kind of a cliche question, but were the Broncos just that damn good, and did everybody sleep on them, underrate them, or did the Cowboys just have a bad game, or did they just suck?
Broncos are just that damn good.
I'll take that. That's what I think.
This is probably the best defense that Dak played against.
Yeah.
So, and especially it's probably the best defense that Ezekiel Elliott has had to run against.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of culminated into, just a bad recipe and a bad game for that team. If you have 9 attempts on 9 carries for 8 yards, or the other way around, 8 attempts for 9 yards, but it was just, Denver's that damn good. Like they made those guys look like scrubs, and it was very, very frightening because I did not expect that. I thought Dallas would pull that game out. I did not expect that from Denver.
Yeah.
If Denver was to win that, I did not expect a blowout like that.
Yeah, and y'all guys thought I was crazy when I picked Denver over the Cowboys last week, but I proved the majority of people wrong. And the Cowboys got. I don't want to. There's no other way I can say this, but the Cowboys got exposed. You stop the run, you stop Zeke, and you pressure Dak. That's their whole offense right there. You stop the run, you stop the whole game because you force Dak to get rid of the ball faster than he wants to, and he's an okay out of the pocket passer, but he does his best work in the pocket. So yeah, you stop Dak, you stop the whole offense. So yeah, they got exposed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Dak is not. We've seen what kind of the thing is, the Broncos has a top-notch secondary. Come on, Roby, Aqib Talib, and Chris Harris Jr. Just imagine if they had T.J. Ward. It would have probably been a bigger shutout.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that front seven is no joke. So I thought the Cowboys O line would be able to hold him off a little better, but I don't know, man. Dak is looking kind of scared in that pocket.
Hold on, we got an angry Cowboy fan. We got an angry Cowboy fan in the chat. Yeah, it's one of my friends. It's one of my friends said you better leave Dak alone. And thanks, Kiera, I appreciate it. But yeah,
I don't think it was too much on Dak. I think it's on Dez. Dez is, I mean, he had that one touchdown, and then he just went into the silent zone. I don't think that receiving core is that great anymore.
I'm telling you, the secondary. I'm telling you, the secondary keyed in on the receivers, and there was nothing they could do. They've had to. All right, they keyed in. The secondary had to key in on the receivers, so they stopped them there. And then the linebackers, including Von Miller, keyed in on Zeke Elliott in the running game. You stop them. What else do they have left?
Dak has to throw it up. He says to throw it to somebody and make him play. Get that offense clicking. I don't think he's in that mindset yet where he sometimes has to compromise.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Now, I mean, now my favorite part is the team that has the choke of the week. Now, me, I have 5 different nominations for the choke of the week. One of them is the Green Bay Packers. One of them is the Dallas Cowboys, even though I picked against them. Another one, let's see. Oh, the Rams. The Rams is another team that is a choke of the week nominee. I expected the Rams to win. I expected the Rams to beat the Redskins, but I was wrong. Wow. But I had 5, but I had to narrow it down to 3. But if I had to narrow it down to just one choke of the week, I will say, I don't want to say this, but the Packers. The Packers are the choke of the week in my opinion. Yeah, the Packers are the choke.
Why do you say that? Because you felt that they were like a better team going into the game, and they should have won. I mean, when I think of the choke, I'm thinking of a team that gave a game away. Like, I mean, the Packers, other than the first opening drive, the Packers didn't look great on offense at all after that. Like, they were missing some, key guys.
Did Jordy go down?
Yeah, Jordy went down too.
Jordy went down.
I don't know if I consider that a choke. I mean, they were losing the game the entire way. I mean, it was, especially on the road, like Atlanta in the stadium. I don't know.
Matt Ryan is Superman in Atlanta. I don't care. At home, Matt Ryan turns into Superman magically. I don't know what the hell's up with him.
Yeah, it's like a reverse kryptonite, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
For him in that city. I would again. I think there's two nominees for me, but none that you've named yet so far. One being the Colts.
Ooh.
I felt actually could have won that game against Arizona. Like, they were leading most of the way until the 4th, and I was surprised. I was like, I thought the Cardinals would definitely beat the Colts. I was like, the Colts I felt were one of the worst teams, and to see them have the lead for the most of the game, and then finally just kind of give it up, and then let the Cardinals back into it. I was just surprised, and I was saddened too. I was kind of hoping that. I mean, it was kind of a surprise to me. I was kind of hoping the Cardinals would lose that, just because it being an NFC West team, and I'm a Niners fan. But the Colts, I thought they should have won that game. I think the Cardinals snuck out, like, and they got effing Carson Palmer off the hook, like being 0-2, like losing to the Colts, like.
Yeah, but hey, Jacoby Brissett showed me something. He showed me he has a hell of a lot of potential. The only thing that he doesn't have is experience. I believe that's it.
And the wide receiver.
Yeah, that and wide receivers.
No.
I mean, he's not gonna get no Marvin Harrison no time soon, but yeah.
I was hoping T.Y. would come out of hiding for once.
Oh yeah, he's in hibernation. He's not gonna wake up until like the beginning. Like, he ain't gonna wake up till like week 6.
Jesus Christ, he's waiting for luck to come back. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, all right, fellas, you guys ready to get into the week 3 predictions?
Oh, let me put my choke in for a second. You already know my choke of the week. It's the sorry ass Chargers.
Oh my God, the Chargers.
I called it though. I told you guys last week. I thought it was going to be 14-17 either way.
Yeah.
And I told you I was going to go the wrong way. I had a feeling, and it did. And bad.
Oh, my friend Ben Harris in the chat says, why doesn't Cincinnati or New York Giants get the choke of the week since they haven't scored more than 20 points since week 12 of last season? That's actually a good point.
Well, because we know that Andy Dalton's looking like the red BB gun right now, so we don't really expect him to be great.
Andy Dalton Andy Dalton, I don't know what the heck is wrong with him. And the New York Giants, I picked them to win their division. I picked them to win the NFC East this year, but I mean, it's still plenty of time. But they say that, statistically, teams that start out 0-2 don't make the playoffs 90% of the time.
Nope.
Yeah,
they don't.
They're in a desperation game.
Eli ain't got an O-line. He's got everything but an O-line.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, and before we get into predictions, do you think that the Steelers had an easy game against the Vikings last week? Or this past week, because they don't have they didn't have Sam Bradford. But the thing is, if you ask me, Sam Bradford isn't really all that good. If Sam Bradford is a B+ quarterback at best, or a solid B or B+ quarterback on a good day, and I don't see him going to no Super Bowl in the next 5 years, if you know what I mean. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people who I don't see let's see. The only way that but the only way that Sam Bradford can really shine is if most of the top quarterbacks aren't in the league anymore. Because come on, because between now and 2022 and the next 5 years, I don't see Brady in the league anymore. I don't see Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, Eli Manning in the league. If Aaron Rodgers is in the league by 2022, he'll be on his last leg. Matt Ryan, if he's still in the league, he'll be on his last leg. So yeah, there's not really a lot of people that'll be around for him to shine.
I can see that.
I don't know. I think that the Steelers knew that all they had to do was just hand the ball off and just control the clock and just get Bell heavily involved, not have Ben force too many mistakes or take too many hits against that defense. And they said it's not going to win because Case Keenum's not doing anything against them.
Yeah, he's not.
So I think that they were just trying to go through that game, go through the motions to salvage what they could. I respect the win, but I'm waiting. The Vikings are a much different team. Dalvin Cook wasn't doing anything, but I think a lot of that had to do with Keenum. I think if Bradford was in there, it would have been a lot more competitive.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's see. Let's go into our Week 3 predictions. Let's start off with a divisional game. The St. Louis Rams are at the 49ers. Who you guys got?
That seems like a 49ers game.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of their mini 4 wins this season.
Yeah.
Unless Goff has a reincarnation and goes back to week 1 Goff. But the way the 49ers have been playing, they've been staying in games kind of. Against the Seahawks, they were decent. I don't know, man. I got a feeling that the Rams are going to start to crumble a little bit here. It's kind of like an intuition more than logic, because on paper you would say the Rams got this probably 27-14. I think Goff just airs it out a bit, but I think it's going to be 20-14 49ers. I think Carlos Hyde has a great game this week.
Ooh, you're going that high? Well, okay. All right, Wazatov, who you got? Rams, 49ers.
All right, I'm a little biased. I go back and forth on this. The Thursday games, they're always kind of sloppy. It doesn't matter who's playing in the game.
Yeah.
It could be good quarterbacks. The play is always kind of crappy anyways because it's such a short week of practice for the teams. And unfortunately, we have Hoyer and Goff in this game. So if decent standard quarterbacks play sloppy, I can't imagine how terrible this game's going to go. I do think what Flip was saying, Hyde. We did see Chris Thompson run all over the Rams, Dave, and Rob Kelly. I do see Hyde being heavily used in this game. He had a really solid game against the Seahawks. He ran really well against them, and I think if he can do that against them, he can do that against the Rams for sure. The Rams do have. I mean, the Rams got Aaron Donald back last week. I think they used him sparingly, I believe. But he'll be another weekend. So I mean, he'll improve that front. But I just see this as a game where both quarterbacks. I think they're gonna be limited. They're gonna be checking down a lot. I mean, granted, the Rams have a little more offensively on their side. I just think defensively that front seven is going to get to Goff, and it's going to rattle him. They're going to force some turnovers. So I do like the Niners in a low scoring game. I want to say it's probably going to be like a 13-6 or 13-7 game for the Niners. Not much to see. Just it's in San Fran. They always play the Rams stuff. So I'm going to go with the Niners 13-6.
All right. Looks like I'm going to have to play the role of the devil's advocate. But before I really do say what I need to say, or before I give my final opinion, of course the golden rule in any sport is that you're only as good as your last game. Now, the Rams lost to the Redskins, and if you ask me, at this point, the Redskins are a better team than San Francisco 49ers. You guys stop me if you think I'm reaching. But yeah, the Redskins at this point are a better team than San Francisco, and I think that the Rams have learned from last week. They learned from their mistakes that they made against the Redskins, and I think they're going to take what they learned and use it against San Francisco. Now, San Francisco, all they have at this point is their running game. Now, the running game is a kind of equal on both sides, but the thing is, if you stop the Rams running game, the Rams have at least somewhat of a contingency plan. The Rams at least have a plan B if you stop their running game. They have a couple of guys to go to as far as the passing game goes. Now, I think both defenses are going to be, running all over each other. I think it's going to be mostly a defensive game, like you guys said. But me, I'm going to have to go the other route, and I'm going to have to say the Rams 17-10, despite San Francisco being at home.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the Niners. They lost Eric Reed. I don't think he's playing this game, so that might make it easier for Goff to get some throws down the field. Yeah, I can see that. I've gone back and forth. I'm probably letting my bias into it a little bit, but I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. All right. Now, next game, the Baltimore Ravens at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This game is a very interesting one. I think it's going to be a mostly defensive game too. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I got the Ravens just kind of going to town on them. What's up, Wes?
Good. Go ahead, Slick.
Yeah, I got the Ravens winning this one. Buck Allen's shown that he's a great running back option in the backfield. Terrence West is probably going to lose that starting job eventually, but Joe Flacco kind of has a crutch now.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like his problem has always been he didn't have that solid running game for the past couple of years. But with that receiving core kind of being decent, I feel like they've been run heavy these last 2 weeks. I think the Jaguars are going to hold them defensively, but I mean they're losing too many weapons on offense, and they still have Blake Bortles. So I got it probably like 16-9 for the Ravens.
All right, Wazatov, what do you think? Ravens, Jags.
All right, so this is interesting because the game's in London. It's always I do like the London games because you get to wake up and it's like 9:30. There's already football there for you, so it's just it's like you don't gotta wait till 1 o'clock. At least on Eastern time. Flip, you gotta wake up at 6:30 to see this. But these games are very. The London games are always kind of wonky. Jacksonville has played so many. I think they've actually played the most London games out of all the NFL teams.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that will kind of help them a little bit because Baltimore hasn't played in a London game yet.
Yeah.
So maybe Jacksonville might have like a whole preparation, a way of like a rhythm to this. Blake Bortles actually plays decent, if not slightly better in London than he does in Jacksonville. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
That plays into it. So I've gone on that, but that's just kind of like shtick. I don't think that's legitimate reasons to go against the Ravens. The Ravens have shown us this season so far that they're the better team. Both are good defenses. Despite